Beautiful day. Not gonna go to the gym today. I'm actually on my way to the grocery store here and was thinking of starting this live and talk to you guys a little bit about what's on my mind and take you to my regular grocery tour. I'll show you what I buy. Not sure how interesting that is, but believe it or not, buying groceries is actually one of my, I wouldn't say my favorite thing. Many people buy online nowadays. We even have these robots here, do you know? Like these little tiny things that go on the streets. Or has them. They basically, they roam the streets. Not the streets, the sidewalks, I should say. When people order their groceries, they then they pack them in these tiny little, call them robots, or like kind of like a delivery little machine, a four-wheeler, the size of a lawnmower, a tiny lawnmower, and it can probably fit 2 grocery bags. So when you order your groceries online, people in whatever store, they pack them and then they put them in this tiny little thing, call it the lawnmower, and it's got this little flag, like a red thing, makes it pop, that makes it pop, and then you see them here. You see them here in the streets or on the sidewalks delivering people's groceries. I've never used them, to be honest, myself, but I think many people do that. I'm more of an old school grocery getter as far as you go into the store physically, and I want to choose the items that I buy, whether it's veggies or fruit or whatever that is. That's my thing. It would be hard for me to just order it online, but that's the future, I guess. And I would probably need to look at it from the perspective of how much time I would be able to save not to drive there and not to do it. But again, I'm an impulsive buyer as far as food goes, even though I always buy the same items. I like actually going there, and I like the fact that I don't have to plan that much beforehand. I probably go 2 or 3 times a week. So that's my way of doing it. Like I said, it's a beautiful day. Been working today a little bit. Gonna go to the gym with my daughter at 3:30, which is in 2.5 hours, and then record one video for this channel later today, and I'm gonna run this live and start working on my next script for my real estate business channel. So that's kind of been the plan of this Saturday. A pretty normal Saturday. It's all about the mindset, right? Is glass half full or half empty? Also took some notes. There were things that I wanted to talk about. The first thing I wrote down. These are from my personal journal, a diary. I have this WhatsApp chat with myself. I've been having it for like 3 years now. Before that, I used to have a traditional notebook, use pen and paper for all the notes. And I started doing that when I was going through a rough patch in my own life, when I started writing this gratitude journal, and then it kind of expanded into this note-taking journal where I just, whether it's business or personal stuff, I started taking a lot of notes. And then the real magic is when you revisit those notes, you go back and read them. And it's kind of funny, I don't know if you guys do it, but every time I go back to my old notes, it's just like I can look at them in a different light. Maybe I'm more experienced, maybe I know more, and I get so much out of them. And now I understand. I mean, in corporate life, I never actually, it's just crazy to admit, I attended all these trainings and I attended all the meetings, but I never fucking ever read the notes after the fact. It's just, I mean, think about how crazy that is. Why do you take notes if you never read them? And now, luckily, I've been doing it, and it's just like, it is so freaking powerful. This sounds very simple, but again, It's not surprising because simple things are the most effective ones in life. The best business ideas are always simple and effective, easy to understand. But this has been mind blowing to me, uh, as far as how much I can get out of those old notes and journal entries that I have. But anyhow, so what I like to do is that I sometimes when I feel lost or overwhelmed, or when I'm out of ideas for content, I go back to my old notes and I start rereading them. And this morning I went back to September 24, so a year from now, and started looking at what I went through at that point. And there are a couple of interesting ones that I thought I would kind of like include in this live as well. The first one I wrote down was, I don't know whose quote this is, but I mean, this is a universal one. The right time was yesterday, the best time is now. Just had a conversation with a friend of mine, and he's going through some personal stuff. And it's funny how he meant, I'm not throwing him under the bus. That's not the point, but we all the same. I've been the same too. He was like, yeah, whenever I have this, then I'm going to be able to do that. And I told him that, look, you do know that the right time was, I mean, a week ago yesterday, and the next best time is today, and it only gets worse from there. But it's one form of perfectionism, in my opinion, when we keep postponing things. We seem to think that there's always that last piece of data that's missing, and then we can't take action because we are not ready yet, so to say. And that's just an illusion, first of all. And it's so wrong because it never gets better, because there's always something. If you're in a bad relationship and you think that, yeah, it's going to get, I mean, yeah, the kids will be suffering if I do it now. When the school is over, it's going to be better. Or when I have more money and when I can buy the half the house, or when I can do this or that, it never gets better. It's like any other problem in life. You sweep it under the rug, it only gets worse. Or if we had the ability to just tackle everything right there and then at first, like the stronger the headwind, the better off we are by just like facing it right there and then. I think it would just be a huge productivity boost in our life. That's just how I look at it. And fortunately, I've always been the type of person, and I think I got this from my mother, that I'm incapable of postponing anything. My parents, especially my mom, used to tell me that, look, you don't always have to do everything the hard way. I'm like, it's not the hard way. It's basically just understanding that you're better off dealing with all the hard stuff right there and then, rather than just postponing it. So I guess that's where I come from when I mentioned that the right time was yesterday, the best time is now. So just whatever the thing is, just we have to tackle it right now, because there's two things. There's pain related to short-term stuff, and then there's regret that's attached to long-term. And we always overestimate pain and we underestimate regret. If you think about it, um, and the studies indicate this too. If you don't believe me, you don't have to. Just like look this up. Um, According to studies, the stuff that we worry about on a daily basis, usually people have 1 to 2 big worries in their mind. 91% of those never materialize. So a huge majority of the worries that you kind of like keep thinking about on a daily basis, they never materialize. And of the ones that do, 1/3 of them turn out better than expected. So the numbers are on your side. So why the fuck do we worry about stuff? And according to studies too, almost 80% of the people in retirement homes, they regret the things that they never did. Not the mistakes they made, but the things that they never did. Start a business, leave a bad relationship, take risks, see the world, travel, whatever. So, and and the reason why we overemphasize pain and underestimate regret is because, in my opinion, because of negativity bias, meaning that's how we are wired. Our brain is wired such that we are oversensitive to everything that's painful because that has kept us alive. It's hardwired into our DNA. You know what I mean? So we sense danger, and our mind is telling us to avoid danger, meaning everything that's out of our comfort zone. But there's no growth there. So how is this related to the first principle of the right time was yesterday, the best time is now? It's just because people postpone stuff because of that pain, that fear, the unknown. but we fail to recognize the biggest price tag, which is regret. When you're out of time, you have no way going back anymore. You can't correct any of those mistakes. You can't take chances anymore. So that's why I think we owe it to ourselves to be super aggressive, so to say, as far as facing everything that feels scary and painful. Are you from the U.S.? I'm a half. I'm a U.S. citizen, yes, but I'm not in the U.S. right now. I was born. I'm in Finland, so I was born and raised here, but I moved to the U.S. for the first time when I was 19. Yeah. So yes and no. Not originally, but I am a U.S. citizen. And I think related to the first one that I mentioned is my second point. These, I mean, why do I talk about this stuff? Because I'm also reminding myself. Because people need to be reminded, or we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. So I think we all have enough principles in life, but it's just how to revisit them and get more out of the ones that we learned maybe sometime in the past. I think that's key. And that takes me back to my comment about journaling. So if you could revisit your own notes and reread them every now and then, you get so much more out of them. But universal appeal means universal indifference. I walked to the gym with my daughter the other day. When I moved to this current place where I live, it's a condo by the water here in the center of the city. Sold my house 9 months ago and moved there. Wanted to simplify my life. I wanted to be in the middle of the action and whatnot. So I'm a member at two gyms, and the one that's really close to my house is like, I don't know, 300 meters away, um, half a mile away, and we started walking there, and it was pretty warm. And then my daughter goes to me and says, she's 16, that okay, well, do you think it's weird that I'm wearing so much more clothes than you? It's like she has a hoodie and a vest. It was like 19 degrees Celsius, like 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm like, why would it be weird? Well, because you have only that, thin hoodie or whatever, t-shirt, whatever you had. I was like, look, it doesn't matter. It's, what other people tell you makes zero difference. And I think, I mean, that's natural. We're all that way. But it's the same thing as universal appeal means universal indifference. If you just worry so much about what universally the right way to do things is, or the right way to get dressed when you go to the gym, it's just like the same thing as being universally indifferent your whole life. And this is what I mean, of course, she's 16 and I'm not blaming her in any way. I'm just saying that as a parent, one of the things I try to teach my kids is to just walk your own path. It's so valuable to be able to be a leader in your own life and not be a follower, because most of the people are followers. They buy when everybody buys and they sell when everybody sells. They follow the trends when it comes to fashion and thinking models and politics and whatnot. But how do you really, I guess, maximize your own happiness and your well-being in life is just only by understanding first what applies to you. Knowing what to want is really the one of the most important skills in life. Knowing what to want, not what everybody else wants, but knowing what is good for you, what applies to you. That's really, I think, one of the key success factors, if you will. I'm here at the parking lot. Just it's funny how you need, how people come and then there's you have the curb, when the kind of like the parking lot ends and then you have the sidewalk there. And then if your car sits pretty low, how the front end or the front spoiler, whatever you want to call it, kind of hits that curb, and it's like you park here in your car and you watch enough many people come and go, and almost everybody scratches their car. It's just same thing happened to that guy next to me. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I was thinking I would go to the grocery store now. I'm gonna see what I buy. Where do I go? Do you guys? I mean, in the U.S. we don't have Lidl. This is a German brand. I like their grocery stores because they are small. They have a good selection of foods. They are, I would say, cheap compared to local standards. And did I mention it's convenient and fast and easy to get in and out? So I don't need to spend more than 50 minutes probably, and I get everything that I need. I have a process that I follow, buy the same kind of stuff all the time. But I like it, simplicity. Instead of going to these kind of like super giga centers or big supermarket, it's like takes you half an hour or 45 minutes to just get anything simple. It's like walking to Walmart versus a gigantic. Imagine the biggest Walmart ever. Well, Walmart is not the best example, but yeah, I mean they sell groceries too. Imagine walking to the biggest Walmart ever versus mm, what's the right comparison? Not Whole Foods, like Trader Joe's in the U.S. And then that being conveniently located, a lot cheaper even than Walmart. So that would be the fair comparison here. Yeah, these guys don't sell organic only. They have their organic section. Yes, I know Trader Joe's or Whole Foods is all about the organic stuff, but you see my point. The point is like the convenience and the size of the store. That's what I mainly mean. It's been a great fall. Really nice. Almost end of September. We still have 18 degrees. What is this, like 64, 65? I like it. Sunny. Very good. Until the darkness settles in a month. And then nobody's gonna have any good time anymore. But it is what it is. Okay, what do I need now? I'm gonna take my grocery bags. And get into the store. Let's see what we're gonna buy. Then after that, I promised my son that I would get lunch, a poke bowl. There's this great poke bowl place in town. They just have I'm a big fan. It's healthy, really fresh, good quality, and not that expensive either. So I'm gonna go there and grab 2 poke bowls for us. And I will see. We'll see. It's funny, dude. Let's see if people keep staring at me when I have this freaking camera. Not that it matters one bit, but what do I need? I need cucumber. I need cucumbers. Maybe. Oats, I don't need oats. Always buy my oats from here. These are the oats that I buy. Really good. How much are they? They're organic. So €15 per. So it's $1 what, 30 for like 2 pounds of oats? That's cheap, don't you think? I'm gonna grab some mushrooms. I'm gonna get some. What am I gonna get? You know, like these mini broccolinis. These are good. I'm gonna grab one of those. How are you, brother? I'm good. ICC cricket. What's going on, man? Came here to the grocery store and buy some food. I always need eggs. How many do I need now? Motherfucker. Need eggs. I have some. I'm gonna buy some bread for my son. Hopefully they have this really good bread. It's oat bread. Oh yeah, this is really good. What's the date on it? 2nd of October. Yeah, this stuff is good. I'll show you. This stuff is good. It says 100% oats. Yeah, I know, it's gluten-free, but it's soft. Usually gluten-free bread is pretty hard. You know, it's not as soft as the freshly baked bread, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna get these rolls. What day is this? 29th. Motherfuckers. 30th. Yeah, I'm gonna grab one of these. Bananas I need. Oh my god, I need bananas. I need bananas. 6 bananas. Is that enough? Mangoes, avocados, blueberries. Fresh blueberries with my oat stuff, oatmeal and avocados I could buy. Yeah. Ready to eat avocados. These are ridiculously, these are from Peru. And usually here, well, sometimes you get really good avocados, but more often than not, they are hit and miss. It's not like going to California where you have like the best avocados in the world. Well, yeah, in many other places too, I'm sure. But, so what else do I need? Bananas. Do I need apples? Yeah, as you can see, I'm not very organized here. I basically improvise because I always buy the same stuff pretty much. So I don't need to. Maybe get basil. This looks good. What do you think? Should we get basil? Yeah, let's get basil, fresh basil. Some lettuce. I'm gonna get lettuce. We could buy tacos or eat tacos, so yeah, I think that makes sense. Fresh basil, lettuce, bread, eggs, avocado, blueberries, bananas, cucumber, broccolini. Gonna buy some chicken probably. Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy some chicken. Ham and cheese for the kids for the bread. Ground beef. The ground beef that I buy is always 7%. It's the good stuff, not the fatty stuff. This stuff. It says 7%. The best date too, of course. Gives me flexibility. What else do I need? I don't know. Do I need fish? Would love to buy some fish. Oh, my daughter wants to have quark. I'm gonna get these. I think this is the stuff that she eats. Yep. Look at that. Just doing some grocery shopping here. Should I buy ice cream? I usually don't, but when the kids are at my house, oh, they have some. I'm gonna get this stuff, chocolate brownie. The kids like this. Duo dough and brownie. Oh, they've got some new stuff here. Yeah, I'm gonna get this. I definitely want to get this.
especially my daughter likes to have it every now and then. Raspberries, frozen raspberries I have. For oats, I have. What else do I need? What else do I need? I could get one of these, right? What are these? Zinc. Do these have calories? They do. Do these have calories in them? Huh? Well, let me grab one of these. What does that mean? You guys don't see it. Yeah, these are like, how should I call them? They are like, so what's in my grocery bag? So I've got chicken, I've got avocado, ground beef, bananas, some quark, ice cream, veggies, bread, eggs. Let me think. Rice I have, potatoes I have, sweet potatoes I have. Sweet potatoes I have. Let me get some energy drinks. Yes, BCAA drinks. Yes. Gonna do that. 2, 4, 6, 8. It's kind of fun walking here with the camera. Toilet paper I would need to buy. Shit. Man. That's a huge pack. Well, why don't I just take it? I guess I just have to take it. I guess I have to take it. Check out that 32 pack. I'm gonna get a Red Bull. How is this different than the other one? I don't even know. Gonna get that. And then this is the best part. Look, they've got the self checkout counters. These are the best in the business. Just have to park myself here. These are really cool. So I can do everything. I can weigh my own. Veggies and whatnot. They have a scale here that works. This gets kind of complicated now. Better place my bags here. Start scanning this shit. Let me activate this scan, believe it or not. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Eggs. I'm gonna do the eggs. I'm scanning these items here. Chicken. This is actually very convenient. I don't like waiting in line. I like doing this by myself, to be perfectly honest. This is my preferred way of doing it. My rules, my pace. Just kidding. No, I'm not actually. I'm dead serious. Dead serious. Look. Bananas next, and look, then you gotta choose veggies, then you choose bananas, then it's gonna weigh. Isn't that cool? Yeah, one might say, okay, how come they trust you that well? I don't know. I think they have cameras for sure. So if I just started putting items in my bag without scanning them, I think it would be a matter of time before somebody shows up and says, hey, what the fuck you doing, man? But obviously I would never cheat, but I'm sure there are people who try that because the temptation is so high, right? You just come here and start, you know, you know what I mean? Not everybody is very trustworthy. I'm a business owner myself, so it would not even cross my mind to, I mean, why the fuck would I come here and steal from somebody? Okay, cucumber, veggies, veggies, veggie, cucumber. My basil, my last drink, and then my toilet paper. Or is this thing here? This is a crazy big ass stack of, there we go. So look, my discount here, $12.80. So I got a €10 coupon and then some other stuff. I don't know what that is. Yeah, so what do I do now? Now I gotta hit pay. So then pay, and then card, and then you just scan here. Look, this is the Apple Pay shit. There we go. Here we are. Then I get the receipt. And this barcode here is gonna open the gate. I'll show you. Just gotta lift these things in my cart first. This is convenient. This is very convenient. That's why I come here because, well, every other grocery store chain nowadays, they have their self-checkout, but these guys have everything included in there. You know? So if you have like recycling cans, you get credit for cans or bottles. You can just put the receipt there, you get the credit. And here, now look, and I just scan it here. And the gate opens. This is cool. I like it. I like it. It works. It works. Very good stuff. I hope I didn't forget anything. I have a bad feeling I did. Because I've been staring at this thing here. I'm talking to you guys, but that's okay. And I'll just go to I have a grocery store, actually 2 grocery stores within literally like 100 meters from my house, and the other one like 300 meters away, so I can walk to do that too. But I like coming here. It's not far at all. Plus, like I said, they have a good selection of items. How long did it take me? 15 minutes? Maybe. I think so. Not bad, huh? Not bad at all. What a great day, man. What a great day. It's almost 2, and then I gotta go and get then I have to go and what do I have to do? I have to go and get the lunch, the poke bowl for me and my son, and then after that I'm gonna go to the gym with my daughter, train. Well, she's gonna train. I'm gonna coach her a little bit. She's going through this rehab for her knee, and I'm trying to show her what to do. Here we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Excellent. Excellent. So what did we talk about before I left? The other thing I wanted to mention today is that if you think about,
Again, random stuff, random thing, completely different than what we just talked about as far as going to the grocery store and some everyday life stuff. But one of, let's say you go to a job interview, right? People ask you, what are your strengths and weaknesses? I think it's one of our favorite topics in life to talk about. Okay, what am I good at? What am I not good at? What do I need to work on? And if you go back to your childhood, or especially your school days, school is testing. School tests weaknesses, but life rewards strengths. What does that mean in practice? You go to school, you take an exam, and it's basically telling you what you're doing wrong. So it's listing your weaknesses, in other words. But how do you do well in life? How do you excel in life? Yeah, you work on your weaknesses only to the point where they are no longer a bottleneck. But everything, all the all the great results are about basically you utilizing your strengths. So the difference between an A plus writer could be that the A plus writer becomes the New York Times bestseller, but the A level writer is the one whose books are only purchased and read, maybe 100 times. And I think this is basically the same thing as our parents when they raised us. Of course, all intentions are good, but people teach us that there's one right answer to everything. Same thing with school. You go to a test, with the exception of math. People tell you, or the teachers tell you, that look, this is the right answer to that question, and we kind of think that life works the same way, that there's only one right answer to everything in life. But in reality, there are several right answers. There is no right or wrong. There's only what's right for you. And like I said, school tests weaknesses, life rewards strengths. And if you want to really do well, figure out a way how to go from A to A plus. Put all those 10,000 hours into becoming world class in one thing, and instead of maybe improving your math grade from C to B, because that probably doesn't make a big difference in the end. But so I guess my point is that instead of focusing on weaknesses, why don't we just start focusing on going deeper in our strengths and making those world class? I think people think that if you already kind of like relatively high here in certain aspects or skills in life, that your job is to bring all your quote unquote weaknesses up to that same level. But I don't think that's worth the investment, because if you're naturally good at something, why don't you put your natural talent and the work so that it compounds into that one thing, so that it becomes world class, so you become top 1% in one thing. How is it related to my life? If I think about my content creation game, being here on YouTube, being online, kind of like being in the business of educating people. I have two channels. I have the mindset channel, which I call the mindset channel. It's this one that I'm on right now. And then I launched a few weeks ago my real estate business channel. So it's basically an education business. I can turn that into consulting revenue or whatever. But if I think about my videos, okay, and their views, I have been struggling this year big time as far as my vanity metrics really not being there. What are vanity metrics? Vanity metrics are the CTR, click-through rate, views, likes, duration of the length of people watching it. I mean, all of that stuff, right? And I have one video that went viral maybe a year ago, 9 months ago, and 90% of my subscribers, 30,000 some subscribers, came from that one video. Everything else ever since has been kind of like lukewarm, literally. I mean, a few videos here and there doing a little better, but then The last ones have been just like they suck in terms of performance. Okay, so my mind automatically goes, okay, what am I terrible at? What do I need to improve? Is it the packaging of the videos? I have somebody doing that for me, or is it the way I present them? Can I keep that story interesting enough throughout the whole video? Is my storytelling ability there? Can I keep it interesting and whatnot? Those are all potentially weaknesses, right? Especially in the context of creating content. But what are the good things? What are the good things that allow me to be where I am today? So should I be focusing on those more and trying to get better on those and put all my focus into those and basically just not ignore the weaknesses, but only work on them to the point where they are no longer a bottleneck, and then focus all my energy on the things that are going well. It's the same analogy as if you run a business and you want to, the first question, okay, what do you want to do with your business? The answer would be, okay, I want to grow it. I want to take it to the next level. Okay. Automatically people start looking at those things that don't go well. Okay, so you can't create enough attention, or the way you convert the attention, let's say your ads don't work and your conversion rate sucks. But we could also flip it and say, okay, what works today? So let's say you have a business that generates 500,000 in revenue. Where are the customers coming from? Where do they come from? What works today? And then you double down on that. That's the exact same thing. So you are good at something because you already have a business that has customers. So you are good at something. You have a way of attracting customers. So double down on that. Figure out what works exactly and do 10 times more volume after that. I think I'm going to make my longer video next about this topic. We'll see. I don't know. There was only maybe one or two. There were only one or two people there online when I talked about this. I don't know if it made sense, but that was my thinking. That was really my thinking. Let's see. So then I have to carry the bags, take them to the elevator, hold the phone. How's that going to work out? I don't know. Let's see how we can make that work. Park here. Plenty of parking. That's good. Even though there's no assigned parking. Yeah, I just pulled in. Came back from the grocery store. For those of you who are online, wondering what I'm doing. The right time was yesterday. The best time is now. That's the name of the game today. Right. Okay, let's see.
What are we up against? What are we up against? How do I carry all of this stuff with this phone in my hand too? This is a very good question. Okay, just gonna empty this can. Throw it in here, in my bag. Not obviously anywhere where it's not supposed to go. Being able to get all of these at one go is gonna be hard. Let's see. Because I have this freaking gigantic toilet paper pack. Okay, maybe I have these. Maybe I have the phone and that stuff in one hand, and then these two bags in the other. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, this works just perfectly. Mores. What? Okay, so neighbors here. Actually, he's the chairman of the HOA. This guy that I saw. Interesting. Open the door. Open the door. I got this. Good. This is one of the most weird lives I've had. Going to the grocery store and carrying these freaking bags. How do I open this door now?